Have you ever noticed that no one in the conventional healthcare system ever asks why or even makes an attempt to find the root cause and discuss natural solutions with you? They just slap a label on it, hand you over a prescription, and send you on your way. Autism, ADHD, anxiety, sensory processing disorder. Oftentimes, it's the same thing in the natural or holistic health world as well. Lyme disease, MTHFR, COMT, PANS, PANDAS, etc. All too often, leaving the patient or parent feeling like they're stuck with that condition and that label for life. The list goes on, but none of them actually answer the question that every patient is desperately asking is what is really going on with my child? Labels don't heal, they don't calm the chaos, they don't help kids sleep, speak, or smile again. But that's exactly what today's system is handing out: labels instead of answers, diagnoses instead of direction. It's time that we flip the script. This video is for all of you frustrated parents who feel like you're collecting diagnoses and labels for your child without getting real answers or lasting solutions, and who are ready to understand the true root cause behind their child's health struggles and then be able to do something about it. So let's start with a statistic that should absolutely shock you. 40% of children today are living with at least one chronic condition, and other research sadly shows that to be above 50%, so 1 in 2 kids, are chronically sick. That's simply not okay. That means nearly half of all kids are dealing with conditions like autism, ADHD, allergies, asthma, anxiety, autoimmune conditions, or other ongoing health challenges. This represents an unprecedented health crisis that somehow wasn't making headlines until recently, when thankfully people like Secretary Kennedy and others started to speak up and take action. Even more concerning is that a meta-analysis of multiple studies shows that the number of youth receiving antipsychotic medications has increased by 50% to 200% over the past 20 years. We're not seeing more sick kids. We're seeing more kids being medicated at younger and younger ages. This path to medication dependency starts with one thing: a diagnosis and a label. The way conventional medicine works is that once they put a label on your child, the medication is the next automatic step. They don't explore root causes, they don't offer natural nervous system focused drug-free options, and they don't even pretend to actually address the issue. They just want to cover it up with medication. That's all they have in their toolbox. So here's the good and the bad of a diagnosis or a label for your child. You do get access to services. So, a formal diagnosis can unlock school based supports like IEPs, speech therapy, occupational therapy or OT, and accommodations that you might otherwise get denied for if they don't have that diagnosis. It also opens up avenues for insurance and state coverage. So many therapies, equipment, and interventions require a diagnosis code for health insurance or state programs to pay for them. So you might get some more financial support by having that diagnosis. You also get some validation and legitimacy. Having a diagnosis can help families communicate their needs with teachers, employers, and medical providers without constant re-explaining. Being able to just say, my kid has this, lets them understand what you're going through without having to go in depth every time you talk to someone. And the last thing it offers is a structured support pathway. A diagnosis can connect families to specific programs, funding, and community resources that they didn't know existed. On the flip side of that, though, is that labels can limit kids' potential. They have an identity shift to broken if they're old enough to understand. Kids and even their parents can start to see this diagnosis as who their child is or who they are, not just what they have, creating a fixed mindset and a lowering belief in their ability to heal and grow and just be a functional human being. Like if you have a kid that's autistic versus a child with autism. The other thing is victim mentality can start to play a role. Labels can unintentionally teach children to expect less of themselves, assume that they can't change, and rely on others for solutions instead of building resilience. It almost gives them an out saying, well, I'm autistic. Sorry, I can't do that. Medication dependency can become a cycle. A diagnosis often becomes a ticket to long term prescriptions where the focus shifts to symptom management rather than root cause healing. You're almost taking the label as, well, this is where our new baseline is, instead of being like, okay, but how did we get here? Is there anything that we can look into to decrease the effects of this diagnosis? Instead of just medicating the symptoms that we have, which isn't going to change the underlying environment. We can also narrow the lens of care. So, providers might focus only on treatments related to that label, ignoring holistic or upstream causes, or even ignoring other symptoms happening that have nothing to do with that label. So if you're tired of just getting more and more labels and then more and more medications and want to learn more about neurologically focused chiropractic care and how it might be able to help your child and family, simply click on the link in our bio on Instagram. You can comment below or you can send us a DM. We're more than happy to help.